Welcome class 12th. Here I'm going to begin chapter 4 on the face of it from your supplementary reader, Vista's English book. This is a play written by Susan Hill. Now at this point the boy started showing his interest and liking. With Mr. Lamb, he told him he also liked the buzzing sound of the bees. That's why he had got inside the garden. He said he used to look at the side over the wall from outside. Mr. Lamb, if you had seen me, you don't have come in. Daddy, no. Mr. Lamb, no. To this, Mr. Lamb inquired from the boy if he had seen him inside, he would never have come. Daddy replied, it won't be so. Mr. Lamb, no. Daddy, it would have been trespassing. Trespassing is illegal thing. That means when you intrude or enter into some private property without the owner's permission. However, Daddy replied, if he had entered into his property, that means into his garden, without his permission, it would be illegal. That's why he would not have come inside. Mr. Lamb, that's not why. Daddy, I don't like being near people when they stare, when I see them being afraid of me. However, Mr. Lamb here did not agree with the reason mentioned by the boy. He said, I didn't agree. To this, Daddy said, in fact, he did not like going near the people as they got afraid of him to see his face. Mr. Lamb, you could lock yourself up in a room and never leave it. There was a man who did that. He was afraid, you see, of everything. One Daddy informed Mr. Lamb that he didn't like being near the people because to have the terrible sight of his face, they got frightened. He said he didn't like this. On hearing this plight of the boy, Mr. Lamb started narrating a story about a man. He said there was a man who was afraid of everything of the life. He was so much afraid, he thought that when he would come out of his house, he would die. Now thinking and fearing about the death, he locked himself up in his room, in his own house, and thus stopped coming out of his house. A bus might run him over, or a man might breathe deadly germs onto him, or a donkey might kick him to death, or lightning might strike him down, or he might love a girl and the girl would leave him, and he might slip on a banana skin and fall, and the people who saw him would laugh their heads off. In fact, he was thinking that when he would come out of the house, he could meet with the accident with the bus, and he would catch infection from someone, and even he thought a donkey would kick him to the death. He even thought the lightning from the sky might hit him, or he would die. He thought that when he would go out, he would probably fall in love with some girl, and the girl would leave and he would die in separation. He also thought of the condition that when he would leave the house, he might slip on a banana skin, and the people would laugh at him, and thus he would die with the insult. Thus, the man had various assumptions about getting death in the life. That's why he locked up himself in his own room. Now, thinking of all these various situations and to safeguard himself, Mr. Lamb said the man locked himself up in his room. So he went into this room and locked the door and got into his bed and stayed there. And this way the man locked himself in his room. Daddy, forever, Mr. Lamb, for a while. Now, hearing this, the boy was surprised. He inquired from Mr. Lamb whether the man locked up himself permanently in his room. He replied that no, he did this for a short time. Daddy, then what? Daddy, then what? Mr. Lamb, a picture fell off the wall onto his head and killed him. Now, Daddy became very excited to know about such man. He inquired what happened next. To this, Mr. Lamb replied that a picture of his bedroom. It fell on his head and the man died spontaneously in his own room, in his own house. Daddy laughs a lot. And now to hear all this now incident, Daddy laughed now openly. So this whole incident made the boy laugh a lot. Mr. Lamb, you see, Daddy, but you still say peculiar things. Peculiar, already, children, have told you the meaning. That means uncommon or strange. Now, hearing all this incident, Daddy again commented about Mr. Lamb and said that the man was really strange. He always said the strange things. Mr. Lamb, peculiar to some. Daddy, what do you do all day? Mr. Lamb, sit in the sun, read books. You thought it was an empty house, but inside it's full. Books and other things full. Yes, the old man replied that he was really peculiar and strange to some people. They found him to be strange. Now at this point, Daddy became very anxious to know everything about this old man. He was interested in his life. Here he asked about the routine of Mr. Lamb. He said that the full day he used to sit in the sun and do the reading of the books. He said that the people thought his house was empty, but inside it was full. It was full of the things. His books and the other things of the house are his real companion. That's why he was not alone. His house was full. And thus, everything of his house, he said, they gave him the company. It didn't matter to him that all these are the things. Daddy, but there are not any curtains at the window. Mr. Lamb, I am no fond of curtains, shutting things out, shutting things in. I like the light and the darkness and the windows open to hear the wind. Here, looking at the house of Mr. Lamb, Daddy inquired why there were no curtains on the windows of his house. To this, Mr. Lamb replied that he did not like personally the curtains. He said he liked the transparency. He liked light and equally liked the darkness. That means he wanted to say that he liked both the sides of the nature, whether it is the daytime or the night time. He enjoyed the darkness and the daylight. He also informed the boy that he liked even to hear the wind from the open window. That's why he used to keep it also open, as he enjoyed the fresh blowing wind outside. That's why even he was not keeping the curtains in his house. Daddy, yes, I like that. When it's raining, I like to hear it on the roof. Here, on hearing the liking of Mr. Lamb about the blowing sound of the wind, Daddy also gave his approval that he also liked it. Along with, he shared his more liking and interest with Mr. Lamb. He told that he liked the sound of rainfall. He said when the rain fell on the roof, he liked that musical note and the voice of the rain falling on the roof. Mr. Lamb, so you are not lost, are you? Not altogether. You do hear things, you listen. On knowing the slacking of the boy about the sound of rainfall on the roof, Mr. Lamb became happy to know this now liking of the boy. He commented that meant the boy was not lost. That's why he was hearing and paying attention to the things. He said, we only listen the things if we like them. That means the boy also liked the thing, though he was always claiming that he didn't like anything in the life. Daddy, they talk about me downstairs when I'm not there. What will he ever do? What's going to happen to him when we have gone? However, will he get on in this world? Looking like that, with that on his face. That's what they say. Here once again, the boy opened his heart before Mr. Lamb. He told the old man about the worries of his family, about his parents. He said that whenever he was upstairs, his parents used to talk about his future. They used to think what the boy would do when his parents would leave the world. They were thinking how the boy would survive in this world with his burnt face. Even shared this pain of his parents. How did they feel that it would be difficult for the boy to get on in this world with a face like that? In this way, the boy said that he got worried to hear such worries and the talks of his parents. So it often pained the boy. Mr. Lamb, oh Lord, why you have got two arms, two legs, and eyes and ears. You've got a tongue and a brain. You will get on the way you want like all the rest. And if you choose and set your mind to it, you can get on better than all the rest. Here on knowing the worries and the pains of the boy, Mr. Lamb was once again moved. He hereby gave him a very inspiring advice. However, he suggested the boy that Daddy had been given all the God. Mr. Lamb, oh Lord, why you have got two arms, two legs, and eyes and ears. You've got a tongue and a brain. You will get on the way you want like all the rest. And if you choose and set your mind to it, you can get on better than all the rest. Here on knowing the worries and the pains of the boy, Mr. Lamb was once again moved. He hereby gave him a very inspiring advice. However, he suggested the boy that he was blessed with all the God given organs like two arms, two legs, eyes, and the ears. And he also had got the tongue and brain. Here he wanted to suggest the boy that he was blessed with all these things and the organs which many are deprived of in the world. So he had to be thankful to the God. He said the only thing the boy had to do to set the goal. And certainly with his hard work and the efforts, he could achieve and accomplish anything in his life. That means he wanted to suggest here that the boy could even get on better than all the rest people in the life if he would set some goal in the life. Daddy, how? Mr. Lamb, same way as I do. Daddy was surprised that how it was possible for him. To this, Mr. Lamb replied that the same way, just like he was doing, that he has to follow the way of Mr. Lamb. Daddy, do you have any friends? Mr. Lamb, hundreds. Here, the boy became more inquisitive to know about the life of Mr. Lamb. He inquired whether the old man had any friend in the life. To this, Mr. Lamb replied he had quite few hundred number of the friends in the life. Daddy, but you live by yourself in that house. It's a big house too. Now to get this answer, Daddy was confused. He asked Mr. Lamb why then he was living all alone in such a big house. Mr. Lamb, friends everywhere, people come in. Everybody knows me. The gate's always open. They come and sit here and in front of the fire. In winter, kids come for the apples and pears and for toffee. I make toffee with honey. Anybody comes, so have you. He replied, his friends were everywhere. He said the people who were coming inside his garden and his house were his friends, and even whosoever knew him in the life was his friend. He said even the boy knew that the gate of his house is always open. He said that's why the people were getting inside and sitting here in the garden, and they used to get warmed themselves near the fire in the winter season in his garden. He said he didn't mind. Even the small children, they were coming for enjoying and stealing apples and the pear fruit from his garden, and even to collect the toffee from Mr. Lamb. Hereby, he informed the boy he was also making candy and toffee with the honey collected from the beehive of his garden. He said, whosoever come was his friend. Just like the boy had come in the garden, he had also turned to be friend of Mr. Lamb. Daddy, but I am not a friend. Here, the boy raised objection. He said he was not Mr. Lamb's friend. Mr. Lamb, certainly you are. So far as I am concerned, what have you done to make me think you are not? Here, Mr. Lamb clarified the boy that surely he was the old man's friend. He said, as far as he knew, the boy had done nothing wrong or any harm to Mr. Lamb. So that's why he was also his friend, as he had not hurt the man. So that's why he was not his enemy. He was a friend of the old man. Daddy, you don't know me. You don't know where I come from or even what my name is. Daddy asked Mr. Lamb why he could be Mr. Lamb's friend. He said they didn't know thoroughly to each other, and even the man didn't know from where the boy was coming and even what was the name of himself. If they did not know each other well, then how did they could become friends? Mr. Lamb, why should that signify? Do I have to write all your particulars down and put them in a filling box before you can be a friend? Signify? That means important. Here Mr. Lamb replied to the boy that it was not important to know the particulars of the boy to make friendship with him. It was not so important. Here he informed the boy that there was no need for him to write all the particulars, that means details about the boy, and put and collect this whole detail in a filling box before he should start the friendship with the boy. He said, we never follow this way to befriend anyone in the life. So that's why he didn't require any such information. Daddy, I suppose not. No, Mr. Lamb, you could tell me your name if you choose, and not if you didn't. Your daddy agreed to the point of Mr. Lamb that it was not necessary to collect all the particulars about someone to make friendship. At this, Mr. Lamb, he said the boy, if he would wish to tell his name to the old man, he could tell, and if he don't like, so there was no need to share his name. Daddy, only it is Derek, but I hate that. Daddy, if I'm your friend, you don't have to be mine. I choose that. Now at this point again, the boy liked to now share his name with Mr. Lamb. He informed that his name was Daddy, that is Derek, the full name. But he said he disliked this full name Derek and wanted to be known and called as Daddy instead. Here Daddy wanted to mention that if a person wanted to be friend with someone, it was not compulsory for the other to confirm this friendship. He said it depends on the choice. Mr. Lamb certainly. To this, Mr. Lamb also consented. He said, really, it is true. Daddy, I might never come here again. You might never see me again, and then I could not still be a friend. Mr. Lamb, why not? Here like to mention if he would never come to visit his place and would never come to meet him, then again they would be the friends. To this, Mr. Lamb said that of course they would remain the friends. Daddy, how could I? You pass people in the street and you might even speak to them, but you never see them again. It doesn't mean they are friends. To this, Daddy did not agree. He asked how it was possible to remain friends with someone forever without meeting and visiting to each other. Here, he gave the example of the people passing through the street. He said, we meet many people crossing through the street. It might be possible that we speak to some, but we never see them again in life. How it could mean that they would become our friends. So the boy here meant to say that all are not our friends whom we ever meet in their life. Mr. Lamb doesn't mean they are enemies either, does it? No, they are just nothing people, that's all. Now here at the query of the boy, Mr. Lamb commented that it didn't mean the people whom we are not going to meet, though they turned to be strangers, but they were not our enemies. No, they are nothing, but they are people. That's all. Mr. Lamb, people are never just nothing, never. But to this, Mr. Lamb added, people are never just nothing. They are either our friends or enemies. If they are not hurting us, then they are our friends. So all the people whom we meet in the life, they turn to be our friends. He wanted to say that. Daddy, there are some people I hate, Mr. Lamb, that would do you more harm than any bottle of acid. Acid only burns your face. However, here the boy informed Mr. Lamb that there were some people in the life whom the boy hated. Here he wanted to suggest to the boy that the feeling of hatred is more dangerous than the bottle of the acid, as the acid only burnt the external part of the body, but it burnt the soul and the whole inside of an individual. So we don't have to breed such feelings in our souls. However, the boy was surprised, bewildered to get this note how Mr. Lamb was easily saying that acid only burnt his face, as the boy's whole life turned to be like hell due to this acid burning. Here, Mr. Lamb gave his affirmation by saying, just like. However, the boy was surprised, bewildered to get this note how Mr. Lamb was easily saying that acid only burnt his face, as the boy's whole life turned to be like hell due to this acid burning. Here, Mr. Lamb gave his affirmation by saying, just like. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have well understood the explanation. For all your doubts and the queries, you can make call or text me.